Hey, getting ready, getting set up for another stream today. Happy Friday. Running over here to these magic trees. Gonna keep chopping down these magic trees here in old school RuneScape. So we're gonna be doing some vibe coding, working on the front end, and we do a little AFK old school RuneScape wood chopping. They call old school RuneScape the best second monitor game, so you can keep it up on a second monitor. Kind of your primary focus is vibe coding, and then we got a little AFK away from keyboard fun, where we can be doing some farming on old school RuneScape and earning some money, and improving our skill in woodcutting while we work. So I'm just going to go through some of the items that we worked on the last stream. So we did work on the media player scaffolding. So if I come and look at okay, so if we click view video here, you can see this is actually a media player. It shows the progress down here in a progress bar. And so we completed that on the last stream. We also were working on getting the PDF to show in the modal. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so we were able to get this PDF to show inside of the web app in a modal view, and we had to use a proxy to do this. And what I'm going to do is get this to stay here. Let's look at the last stream. Okay. Walk us through very concisely how we completed the items above. So on the PDF, at one point we were trying to stream the PDF, and at some point we decided to embed it instead. Artifacts, gateway, nest.js, proxy. Why did we decide to use a blob and not stream the PDF? This is just for my own edification, so I can understand. I did do a quick review of the code myself, just to review it to make sure that the LLM wasn't generating any static information or just passing in static parameters into a method or anything like that. So let's see. So yeah, we're having some trouble with the origin, and I just want to understand the exact way that we implemented this. I'm gonna say, yeah, can you explain the origin issue again and why we're having to use the proxy? Got it. So pretty much what's happening, it looks like, is I have the PDF stored on AWS S3, and we're trying to stream the PDF from the S3 URL, which is not our origin, right? Or it's a different origin from getparty.ai. Excuse me. Because okay, so it's actually the browser's PDF viewer that doesn't like this, which is kind of interesting. So originally we were trying to stream and we were getting an origin error. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with proxies, so I'm just trying to get some better understanding here, just so I can fully understand what we implemented. Um, so explain for a layman the proxy. I'm getting a bit confused when you're still saying that the coaching service has to fetch from S3 and then stream with the correct headers. Are we not fetching from the proxy URL? Hey guys, if you're joining, I'm working on a few things here. So on the last stream, we did a couple things. We're able to get the new media player. So when I click view video here, we can see a media player. And this will eventually play multiple videos. So some cameras have multiple channels. So there's forward-facing, driver-facing, cameras mounted on the fender underneath the mirrors. So we have this video, and this video is hosted on S3. So we're fetching that video down from S3 and showing it in our web app. And then also we have a report. So now we're showing this PDF blob here inside of the front end. And now I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a review, a human review of the items that we implemented, and make sure I have some basic level of understanding. Let's see. Okay. Here's the journey of the PDF. So here's our browser, and the browser is making a call. Ask your own domain because it's can't directly ask it. Okay, so the front end calls the account service, right? And to the coaching service. Okay, so the account service is using a proxy and then sends the blob, I guess, back to the browser in the PDF. The PDF is rendered inside of the browser using browser tools. Is that just help me understand? Okay, so what exactly is the proxy doing? Okay, interesting. Okay, yeah, so the proxy pretty much is, instead of sending the PDF to our front end with the AWS S3 URL, the proxy makes it looks like it's coming from our own origin. So the browser, I guess, has a PDF renderer tool, or I'm not exactly sure what the official name of it is, but the browser has a tool that renders the PDF blob, right? And if the PDF blob is not coming, so if my front end is has the host name, whatever the host name is, and then here comes a PDF blob from a different origin, it considers that some type of cross origin error, right? And it doesn't play nice with that. So so let's go back to our list of items here. So this is one item that we need to work on. So we make sure that we do analysis on all camera channels. And so what that means is if I come back over to this system, let's keep this list here. If I come to reports, critical event report, and we click generate, okay, and we're going to look at one of these reports here, or one of these events. And you can see that these events have 2 different channels, right? So this is actually me inside of my car. And so right now what's happening is, if I come to inspect, then what we're going to do is we're going to go to network, and we're going to take a look at the post body when we go to generate one of these events here. Let's just look at this one. Okay. So when we go to generate this, okay, here we go. I'm having trouble like clicking and dragging things to the left and right today for some reason. Okay, so let's go to the payload. All right, so we're only passing in one URL. But, so first let me grab this. See if we can copy this object. Copy the object. And let's paste this object in here. You know what? Let's go ahead and go to, let's open up a new chat, and let's switch this to Codex. We're going to pass in this object, and then, so this is what the object looks like when we send an event. So when we send a post request from this page to the coaching backend, that's what the post body looks like. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click inspect, and what we're going to do is I'm going to go to network, refresh the screen, clear all these items here in the dev console, click generate, run a week full of data, or generate a report of 1 week for 1 week. And so here are the items that we just retrieved from the database. Let's see. So what we're going to do now is look at the results. Let me just grab these results. So tell Codex. Going to say, on the critical event report, when we send the post request to the coaching service to do an AI analysis on the video event, inside of the request body, we're only sending one of the MP4 URLs. Sometimes cameras have multiple channels and multiple MP4s. I want to make sure that when we send the request from the front end, we can send multiple URLs or any of the MP4s that are available. And I want to make sure that the coaching backend can run analysis on all of the MP4s in the array. So that's using Whisper, speech to text. Let's see if Codex can do this. One nice thing about using Codex inside of VS Code is it's easier. Like if I want to, it's easier visually to see exactly what Codex is working on, and as Codex makes the edits, I can be looking through those edits. Right, you can see it in the CLI tool, CLI 2, but it is a bit easier to kind of get a visual representation of the work that Codex is doing when you're using Codex inside of VS Code versus the CLI. The CLI is nice to run it on multiple microservices at once, right? Like in here in VS Code, and I haven't tried it, maybe you can, but I'm not sure if you can open up like multiple chat sessions, but yeah, so I'm using Codex now inside of VS Code, and I like it. Using it in the CLI too, if I need to run it inside of multiple services. Oops. Range this goes. Okay, let's see. Continue. Having some trouble with this today. Yeah, so this is why I kind of like using Codex inside of VS Code, is that I can review the changes it's making as it's doing those changes inside of an interface that's easy to see, right? You can see it in the CLI, but it's not as clear as when you're looking in the IDE. You're not doing any hard review here, just kind of doing a preliminary check to make sure it's not doing anything outrageous, right? Hey, so if you're joining, we're working on the coaching front end. So on the last stream, we're able to get our AI analysis video inside of a media player on a modal inside of our web app. So this video is hosted on AWS S3, and then we're also able to get this PDF blob showing up on a modal inside of the web app. And right now what I'm doing is events. When I go to the critical event report, you can see that events sometimes include an array of multiple URLs. So if I click generate again, you'll see that some of these events include more than one URL. Yeah, so pretty much right now our service is only doing an analysis on the URL that's at index 0. But we wanted to do analysis on any URL that's available, pretty much. Trying to build it. Can you review this and make sure it will work? When the user requests a coaching analysis from the front end, if the camera has two MP4s in the array, we need to include both of those in the request. There's also a .mdt and another URL that's not relevant, and we don't need to perform analysis on it. So please make sure we're doing that correctly. We only want to include the raw MP4s in the analysis. Trying to make some type of call to the front end. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't think that's... What is command? Huh. Let's go ahead and send this question or send this response. I'm gonna grab a coffee while this is working. It's like checking some method to make sure that it's going to work properly, but it's doing it in the terminal, which is kind of interesting. Let's dismiss this guy. It's creating all these summary documents. I don't know how I feel about that. It's just like pasting in the terminal what it's telling me it did or something. Okay, are we ready to test? Can you commit the changes in the appropriate repositories and push to origin, and then we can test? Sometimes there is up to 4 URLs in the array, maybe sometimes more. Will this work? And the backend will do analysis on all of the available MP4s. And when we click view video, the media player will play all available MP4s. Yeah, so right now this the camera sometimes has multiple channels. So it'll have forward-facing, driver-facing, sometimes side cameras mounted on the fenders. And we want to make sure we do analysis on every camera channel. Right now we're only doing analysis on the MP4 that's at index 0 in the array. it keeps like telling me what it's doing. It's kind of interesting, and it's just catting it into terminal. I guess it's doing that so it can go review the terminal or go backwards maybe. Kind of interesting. It's the first time I've seen Sonnet 4 do that. Okay. I think it's putting that information in the terminal for itself. Okay, go ahead and commit these changes in the appropriate repositories, and let's push to origin. I hate these big commit messages, but that's okay. Okay, let me go ahead and open up this PR on GitHub here. Okay, gonna open up that pull request. Make sure it's just adding only the files that we made changes to. Or staging only those files. Okay, we push that to origin. Accounts. So 3 different microservices we're having to make changes to. And this is all just so right now, when we run this AI video analysis, we're only using the first MP4 in the array. So there's sometimes many different camera channels on a vehicle, mounted in all different places on the vehicle, and our backend coaching system will build these critical event reviews for an event. And right now we're only doing analysis on one video, but we want to make sure we do analysis on every video that's available. Nice. Okay, merging all of these branches into main. Let's see. Go to the coaching service. Open up this pull request. Just kind of do a little preliminary look at it. Keeps wanting to cat this information into the terminal. It's kind of interesting. Instead of just detailing all of the changes in the chat, it also is catting it into the terminal, which is kind of interesting. Okay, you can go ahead and do a rollout restart on the next TS deployment. Okay, we just restarted the front end pods. I'm gonna check if the account service is done building. Not yet. The coaching service, we're building the Torch Hub package is inside of the image, so it's kind of massive. So it takes a minute. Go ahead and do a rollout restart on the account service. Okay, we just restarted the account service. And once the coaching service is done being built, we're going to restart that, and then we're going to open up the logs, and then we're going to make a request, and have the LLM review the logs with us. And then after this is done, we should be able to see all of the camera channel, or do an AI analysis on all of the camera channels, right? So if I come here and come again, see that these events have multiple channels here. So pretty much we should see an AI analysis on this also. And this is where we're going to see if the object detection can pick up the phone. That's really one of the main reasons we're doing this, is to see if we can detect the phone inside of the video, which should be pretty cool and fun. So let's go drop off our magic logs here. Go drop these magic logs off. Then as soon as the coaching service is done being built, I'm checking GitHub right now, still building. It's actually a 10-minute build because we have the Torch Hub package. I'm pretty sure it's pretty big. We're building a Docker image. I could show you what it looks like. Yeah, pretty much when the Docker image is building, kind of just looks like this. And so what we're doing right now is we have this AI analysis. So we have dash cameras in vehicles, and those dash cameras generate report or events, right? So things like quick acceleration, forward collision warning, erratic lane departure, hard brake. And I need to generate some more testing events, and I'll have those events generated by the by next stream. But pretty much we have forward collision warning, lane departure warning, following too closely, hard brake, hard turn, quick acceleration, shock, severe shock, right? And what happens is sometimes these events are not always accurate, right? And these cameras have an accelerometer, and we're using Edge AI to try to get the events as accurate as we can. But we're also, so we're doing AI at the edge with the dash cam, but then also doing some post analysis on the back end. So pretty much right now the camera can have multiple channels, so it could be forward facing, facing the driver. It could be mounted underneath the mirrors, mounted on the fender. And when a fleet manager wants to do an AI analysis on this event, they can run that AI analysis, and we're getting ready to be able to run the AI analysis on every channel. So that should be pretty cool. Let's see if the Docker image is still not done being built. And what else are we going to work on? So this is what we're working on right now. We're going to at some point we're going to build some type of confidence scoring. And that's part of the reason why I also want to get the driver facing video and do analysis on that, because one of the ways that we're going to determine maybe an event that's more serious is if the driver is on his phone, right, or distracted. We're also going to add this 3D event reconstruction. So we have this 3D event reconstruction, and pretty much every time the camera triggers an event, we have some location data, and we also have the dash cam video. And so we want to really give a fleet manager a complete picture of the event without having to be there, right? Or be in the field and actually visit the location of the event. They can get as much context as they can about the event. So we're also going to be including this in the coaching front end, right? And we also have the coaching report. Oop, not good. Let's see what that error is. Oh, we just made some changes that stop the report from rendering in here. Your most recent changes broke the PDF modal. I want you to look at the git diff and try to understand why this happened and fix it. Interesting. Let's see if this is done building. Still building. Okay, go ahead and check the git diff. Okay. It's an indentation error, it's telling me, which is kind of strange. Let's go back up to the account service. Accounts. So Sonnet actually introduced a new issue that we had solved, which is kind of interesting. Okay. Okay, it's done building this code. I'm gonna say, go ahead and do a rollout restart on the coaching service. Okay, so let's see. Let's do a rollout restart on the coaching backend. And let's see if the account service is done building. Account service image is still building. So what we're doing right now, and it's unfortunate that we're getting this error, but what we're doing right now is we run AI analysis on dashcam videos. So we're doing object detection and also depth estimation. And so the dashcam triggers events at the edge. So things like quick acceleration, hard brake, erratic turn, hard turn, quick acceleration, shock, severe shock, following too closely, lane departure warning, forward collision warning. And what we do is we take these events and we run them through our coaching analysis. So we do object detection and depth estimation, try to find the relevant objects in the scene, and then we pass that to the LLM and generate generative coaching questions for the driver. Right now, let's see. Okay, so the account service is finished building. As soon as the coaching pod starts, takes about 2 minutes actually to start this coaching pod, which is kind of takes a minute there. And really the way that it works now, and this is the system, I know there may be some new people watching on Twitch or YouTube, but this is a telematics video system. So here's the main map. We can look at geozones or generate geozones, get arrive and depart notifications, run reports. Right now what we're working on is the camera will trigger these critical events, and a fleet manager would review these critical events, and then if the event was severe, the manager would decide, hey, I want to maybe coach my driver on this event. You know, he needs some coaching. And then they would click the coaching analysis button here, and then we're going to run a coaching analysis on the event. So this is where we're going to run the object detection and the depth estimation on the event. So it looks like this restarted successfully. That's wrong namespace. Let's see if we can. Good. Okay, now do a rollout restart on the account service too. The image is done building. Okay, this should be done any second here. 3 replicas on this service. The availability is important on this service. This service also does authentication for users. So, okay, done. All right. Man, interesting. It's kind of... This was working before Sonnet. Sonnet has trouble displaying this blob. Let's see if Codex can fix this. Okay, we were using Sonnet to make some changes, and now we can no longer see the PDF blob on the front end. I want you to review the git diff and help me understand how we broke this. We were using Sonnet to make some changes, and now the PDF blob is not displaying in the modal. I want you to review the git diff and understand why this happened and fix it. Hey, Focus. How are you? So right now we're trying to let's see if we can... Let's go to... Gotta move this. Yeah, it's like the blob. This blob URL is inaccurate. This was working before. Check the git diff. So what was happening is we're hosting, and let me just pull this up so you can see what this looks like. So we're trying to get this PDF, which is hosted on AWS S3, to display inside of the modal. So at first we were trying to stream it from S3, but we were getting a cross-origin error. So then we started using a proxy to get the blob to display in the modal. And that was working, and then we used Sonnet to make some changes, and it looks like we broke it. We do have the object detection video showing in the modal. Can you run a working version of the front end? Yeah, so this front end is actually, this is online right now. So you can see I can actually, this is actually my vehicle. So if I come, we can look at, here are actually trips of me driving around. So here's a lane departure warning, actually. Here's actually a lane departure warning. So this front end is actually, this is a staging server, and this is a product that's actually in production right now. Here's another trip from yesterday, and this is actually me driving around in my car. Let me see if I can, should be able to see. So there I am. So I'm testing this camera pretty much, and then we're trying to build this coaching system, right? So if I come to coaching, this is what you're seeing. So eventually the idea is every time the camera triggers an event, we're going to be doing this analysis on it and then trying to generate a coaching report, a generative coaching report for the driver. And so we're using like a combination of Codex and Sonnet to do this. Hey, Audrius, how are you? Thanks for being here. Now what I'm doing is I'm using version control to try to understand how we broke this PDF modal. And so Codex is running some git show commands to show some edits that we made in the past. And hopefully it can get an understanding of why this is not working anymore. Here's Codex adding some to-dos here, which is pretty cool. I don't love that Codex is not mentioning what it thinks the issue is right now before it's implementing the fix. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I don't love that. Yeah, manually checking. So I actually didn't make these commit messages. So I'm actually using the LLM to stage the commits and push to GitHub. But definitely, I mean, sometimes when I get stuck, right, I will manually review when needed, for sure. Thank you for the suggestion, though, Zahid. I appreciate that. So can you tell me what the issue was and what we did to fix it? Okay, here we go. It's giving me the actions taken. Okay, we swapped. So Sonnet swapped it from an iframe to an object. Okay, go ahead and commit the changes and let's push to origin. Yeah, so here's the hit. I'm actually using the LLM right now to. It's about to make the stage the commit. I think it's reviewing what the changes are to try to figure out what to put in the commit message right now. It's kind of, these changes are a little interesting. It's kind of concerning. Sometimes when I see this +0, -0. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to push to origin, and I'm going to build the image, and then we'll do a rollout restart. And guys, this is all deployed on Kubernetes, AWS EKS inside of a cluster. And this is a staging server. This system's actually deployed into production. And this is kind of the server I use to do testing on. Okay. Let's go take a look. Open up a PR here. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, image is building. So another thing, another item I did notice is when I go to run the report for some reason, and I don't know, this is actually, I'm sorry, when I go to run my trip report, I can see these events like lane departure warning, but for some reason I don't see them in our regular report. Yeah, so these events, lane departure warning right. Interesting. Okay, I think they changed, our partner changed the name of the event type. So let's see if the image is done building. Interesting. GitHub's like just spinning, still trying to figure out if it can be merged right now. I don't know if GitHub's down or... Let's see. Back to pull request. Let's close this pull request. Kind of strange. Let's pull request, new. Create the pull request. Okay, there we go. Merging to main. Sorry guys, I'm looking to on a monitor that's off screen, that's off the stream here, just because there's really nothing too fun to look at here on GitHub. Using GitHub Actions, so pretty much GitHub Actions containerizes the application code using Docker, and then we push the Docker image up to Docker Hub, and then we have it deployed using Kubernetes, and we have it running in AWS EKS, which is Elastic Kubernetes Service. So pretty much we deploy the containers that are hosted on Docker Hub inside of the cluster in a namespace. what's the end goal of the SaaS product? So a couple things to hit. Really, one thing is just to make the roads safer, right? I mean, the main goal is to help fleet managers determine real events. So one issue with these dash cameras is you get a lot of false events. Like a driver might be driving on the road and hit a pothole, and that gyrates the camera or shakes the camera, and that triggers a shock or a turn event. And the driver really didn't commit a violation, a driving violation. And so one of the things I'm trying to do is do this AI analysis on events to determine real events versus false events, right? And then once we determine real events, we're trying to distribute learning content to the drivers proactively. So instead of always being in react mode every time something happens, right? We're trying to get in front of the event. So try to determine real events and then distribute learning content to drivers in real time to try to prevent the accident, right? Instead of just, okay, the accident happens and now we're reacting to the accident. So trying to get in front of the accident. And then also, we're going to be working on this and also an agent's business. So using voice agents and chat agents, and we're going to be deploying agents across this entire web app, doing all different sorts of things, and then also helping SMB build mini employees, right? That don't replace your human employees, but assist your human employees. And those really, we're going to be working on those projects kind of in parallel here. But the end goal with this is to really build like a robust safety program that small to mid-sized fleets of vehicles, it could be a service company doing HVAC work, it could be a plumber, it could be a last mile distribution company, but really using this to implement a safety program to make their fleet safer, right? And to ultimately make the roads safer. So that's kind of the ultimate goal. Let's do a rollout restart. Let's do a rollout restart on Next.ts. The image is done building. I want to test now. Yeah, so hey Zahid, so good thing that you mentioned there. I am using, we do npm run. So when we push it up, it doesn't immediately merge into the main branch. So we check out to a new branch, push it up to that new branch. That new branch runs an npm run to try to see if there's any errors before we merge. And then if there's no errors, then we merge it into the main branch. Then when the main branch is done building, that pushes the container up to Docker Hub. Let's see. Thank you, Zahid. And hopefully I'm pronouncing that okay. Okay, we just restarted the front end. Okay, here we go. Still can't load the PDF. Okay, so let's see. Let's try to figure out what's going on here. So what's interesting is I do see... Can't click this link right now. Hold on. Every time I copy link address. It's still not working. This proxy link used to be accurate. Now it's inaccurate. Yeah, so what's happening actually is these are hosted on AWS S3, and initially we were trying, from our front end, we were trying to stream that PDF from AWS S3. We were getting origin issues because the origin of the AWS S3 URL, and I guess I could have probably allowed that origin, but the thing with S3 is I guess it's like a CDN too, right? So it's not always serving it from the same region, I think. So it's not like I can allow this static origin, I think. So we're kind of fetching from S3, then using this proxy URL, creating a PDF blob, and then the PDF blob is displaying it in the front end. What is it? But don't we have to use the proxy URL or we'll get the origin issue trying to fetch from the S3 URL? All right, let's try it. Okay, let's commit these exact changes and push to origin. Yeah, so also the idea is to get this 3D event reconstruction also as part of the event analysis. So, and really one really cool idea I have is eventually a fleet manager being able to wear the 3D goggles and then go to the scene of the event, rebuild the 3D scene, right? And a fleet manager can walk through the scene of an event. He could be on the phone with the police, describing what happened during the event, be on the phone with the driver, and actually like almost be there in real time. Now that's not like a super priority, but just, you know, if things really head in that direction of these digital twins or these fully 3D simulated worlds, then that might be kind of cool. But for now, we can do these 3D simulations. This is using Three.js to do this simulation, and this is actually moving at a relative speed, which is pretty cool. So a fleet manager can look at this and get an idea of, you know, how fast or slow the vehicle was actually going. So that's pretty cool. Let's come back here. Status. But yeah, as a hit, actually, this might be a time where if Codex continues to struggle with this, yeah, I might actually go look at the commit where I know that this was working, review it with my own human eyes, and then I could guide the LLM a lot better than I am right now. Right now, I'm telling the LLM, hey, you go figure it out, right? But, you know, if it continues to struggle, you know, before I look at it myself, I may switch to a different model, have a different model, look at it, maybe open up a new chat, start a new chat session. But for now, we're going to see if this fixes it here. Okay. Okay, we're merging the branch into main. So this is the blob URL, and it's interesting, but this blob URL, it did fetch request URL, it gets a 200 OK. Let's see if I can find a blob that was working. Let's go ahead and do a rollout restart on the next TS deployment. Yeah, so I'm using Codex. I'm also using Codex on the CLI. So you can do that right from the CLI too, and do Codex and right from the CLI. What's cool about this is I can open up multiple Codex windows and have it working on 2 different microservices at the same time, which is kind of cool actually. Inside of the IDE, I kind of just have this one chat window. Let's see if this is done building. Where is my Let's go ahead and do a rollout restart of Next.ts. I could probably just go find the commit just by pressing the up arrow here. Rollout restart. Here it is. There, we just did it. Let's close this. Fresh. Okay, at least we got a new error. This is good. Yeah, see, we're getting the origin error again. Major confusion from Codex and Sonnet. See, I think we're trying to serve the PDF blob using the S3 URL, but we're supposed to be using our proxy from the accounts microservice, I think. And thanks for being here, guys. Please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. So this is what the PDF actually looks like. So this is kind of what the transcript looks like, and we're trying to get this to show in the front end. Okay, so tell me what changes you made and why it's going to work now. So I actually can see it if let's close some of these windows down. You can see when it fetches it from here. Okay, that sounds good, but I want you to go check the old commits, because at one point the PDF was displaying in the modal, and I believe we're using the proxy URL, so we didn't get the origin issue. I just want you to triple check and make sure what you just implemented will work as expected. So it's interesting. I actually, Sonnet is what led us down this road. So I had asked Sonnet to make one change, and it got a little overexcited and made some changes that I didn't ask it to make. And now we're here. Let's see. So it was the I know exactly when we made the commit. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go look, like you mentioned, Zahid. I'm going to go look at the commits in GitHub. Let's take a look at the commits. And I know that it was this commit. I'm just going to say, I believe that this was the commit where it was working. We'll see if that helps. So now it's going to show this commit, and it's going to try and see what the diff is. Let's see if Codex can make this happen here. There we go. It's looking better. That's looking a lot better. That's looking like the way it's building this URL here. That's looking a lot more promising right there. So I did it's kind of funny. I had to put my human eyes on it, and I had to guide it a little bit there. I had to go get the exact commit where I knew things were working last. And then I was telling it, hey, go look back and you'll find the commit where it was working, and it was struggling. And then I had to go tell it, okay, here's the commit, the exact hash of the commit that I know worked. I said, use that. And now it seems like it might have figured it out. I don't want to speak too soon. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, but so back to the PDF, I just want to show you. So here, and this is not a good one. Okay, it's this one. So this is what the transcript, so this is what I'm trying to build for the drivers. So here's an idea of the transcript. So driver was involved in an ADAS forward collision warning event at speed 33 miles per hour. The following objects were detected in close proximity to the vehicle: a bus, an estimated at 10 feet, a car, and then no phone usage. So this is where we're also going to try to, when it's me in the vehicle, I'm going to try to detect phone usage, right? So if I come down here, here are some questions that we generated from this event. So 3 questions for the driver. Were you paying enough attention to the road and surrounding vehicles when the ADAS forward collision event warning occurred? How can you improve your awareness of the distance between your vehicle and others on the road to prevent similar incidents in the future? Do you understand the importance of maintaining a safe following distance? And then some suggestions on how to be safer. And one of the things we're going to do is kind of improve the prompt, try to improve this as well. So let's see. Come in. Okay, good work. Now, can you commit these changes and push to origin? Okay, now we're going to push this to origin. Okay, so now it should work. If the blob has the right URL, we're about to find out. Yeah, added a bit more safety. Yeah, sometimes it's interesting, but you do have to be careful and you do need to do some human review because like sometimes it may build some method and the method takes in these parameters. And the parameters are really dynamic parameters that can change. And you're supposed to be like fetching this data from some other service. But I've noticed that sometimes if there's a problem or an issue, instead of the AI trying to fix the root issue, it like will maybe create some static object and just start passing in the static object to the method just to get it to pass, right? And just to stop errors. And so you have to be careful with that. That's been my experience. Almost done building. I'm going to go ahead and say, let's do a rollout restart on the next TS deployment. Okay. You know what? This is one of those times where you just press the up arrow on your keyboard till you find the command in terminal, and then you just run it. Okay, there we go. I just did a rollout restart. Interesting. Let me go to that old commit again here. Let's go to actions. Code. Are you trying to display it in an iframe or an object? Can you review that commit again? Was it using an object or an iframe? It may be time to get into a new chat. Yeah, it's just... Can you open up the account service logs and follow them when I make this request so we can get a better understanding of what's happening? Okay, let's... The artifact URL is wrong. I'm almost at to the point where I might just revert back to the last working commit. It's in the wrong directory. There we go. Yeah, let's render it in the same way we did in this commit. I know that it was working in this commit. Yeah. Yeah, you mean like a curl or something. I could use a curl. Let's try that. Can you use curl command to hit the account service and try to generate these proxies without us having to deploy to the front end and me test live? Yeah, good ideas ahead. Let's go drop this. Sometimes I do have middleware, but I should be able to use a temporary pod maybe inside of the cluster to run a curl command. Yeah, it's reading the middleware. It's gonna be okay, instead of doing the curl, I don't want to have to mess with the middleware right now. I just want you to use the same method that we used in that working commit to display the PDF in the modal, because right now I can't see the PDF and it seems like the artifact proxy URL is not accurate. Yeah, so what's happening is what I could, and I've done that before to actually build this service. If you go look at some older live streams, you'll see I did that, but it's all hosted inside of AWS EKS, and there are services and middleware. And so I should be able to run start a temporary pod inside of the cluster, and then have that pod make a request to the service inside of the cluster and allow the request, and have the middleware not block the request. But I don't want to go too deep down that path right now yet, unless I have to. I probably should do that moving forward, though, but that might be something I do off stream and kind of prepare that. Okay, commit these changes and push to origin. Let's try this. While that builds, I'm gonna go grab a cup of coffee. Let's do a rollout restart on the next TS deployment. Oh, it needs to keep creating these to-dos. A simple command like that. as soon as this image is done building, we're gonna do it. Okay, image is done building. Here's the rollout restart. Strange. This was a... Still not working. I can't see the PDF in the front end. Artifact URL seems incorrect. I'm tempted to go push back to the old commits. You know what? Let's see if Sonnet. No, Sonnet's struggling to get this PDF blob to show up in the. Mm-hmm. Okay, we did get a 404 not found, I think, when we... tried to curl the artifact. This URL's wrong. is it doing that? You know what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go backwards. So let's go get I want you to revert back to this commit in accounts. You know, let's open up a new I want you to revert back to this commit in accounts service. We're going backwards. Sorry, I meant revert back to this commit. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the coaching service. Okay, now I want you to commit these changes and push to origin. Is there no way to do this without the force command? How can we do this without having to use the force command? Right now, let's go to next TS and do the same thing. Okay, now I want you to do the same thing in the next TS service and get us back to this commit. Hey Zahid, I see your comments. I'm looking into this. I maybe shouldn't have I'm trying to go backwards right now. And then I just want to get back to where that functionality was working. Came after. There were 7 commits. Okay. Man, Sonnet really took us down a heck of a path today. It definitely made a change I wasn't did not tell it to do, and we're here. Let's see. This kind of reverting back to the last commits getting a little confusing too. I may need to actually do this manually off stream at some point, but let's come back now. Let's go to the coaching service and revert back to the last known working commit here. Okay, now we want to go back to this commit in the coaching service. There's got to be a better way to do this. Okay. Okay, let's go to the service. Let's open up a pull request here. Okay. Actions. Nice. Coaching is restarting accounts. Okay, let's do a rollout restart on accounts and a next TS service. Should go look at the pod. There we go. Okay. Back to this error. Huh. See if the blob's right, though. Okay, look. So there we go. This is actually progress. So you can see this is the correct proxy URL that pulls up the PDF. So that's a lot of progress. Now we just have this violation, created a blob. This thing doesn't work. Let me see. So okay, now I think it's working again, but working. Hold on. Okay, now at least when I click the PDF proxy URL and I open it in a new tab in the browser, it opens up the PDF. But this created blob URL doesn't look like it matches the proxy URL, and it's not working. Help me understand what's going on. Allow full screen to iframe. So I don't know. Let me see if it's an iframe right now. Hold on. I know it's a simple full screen error. I see that. Okay, it is using an iframe. Whoa. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not familiar with, like, okay, when to use an iframe, when to embed this blob, right? But the proxy URL is working. The problem, you are fetching the PDF from the proxy URL, creating a blob. See, where I'm confused is, yeah, but so the proxy URL, I was able to open it in the browser, but then the blob URL, when I clicked it, it said 404 not found. Huh. Once you try to open it in a new tab, it revokes, it's gone. All the blob creation logic, and now uses the proxy URL directly in the iframe. Let's see. Okay, let's commit these changes and push to origin. I'm not sure if there was any value in using the blob versus using the iframe and showing the proxy URL directly in the iframe, but let's go ahead and try it. Our approach is simpler and better. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go open up this pull request. Pull request, new pull request. I see what you mean now, kind of the blob was revoked, and maybe that's why it was not found anymore, because it was revoked already, but I don't remember that behavior before. Let's see if this works. This is a little easier for me to understand, actually, the iframe than the blob. I know the blob probably has value. I really need to dig into this. It's interesting, but you'd think that the LLM just getting a PDF to render on the web app would be straightforward. But it's had some serious challenge with this. One, if you actually, Zahid, if you look at the beginning of the stream, you can actually see it was working at the beginning of the stream, and you can see what it kind of looks like. Let's go ahead and merge this. Yeah, so the blob stores it in memory, right? On the browser. And I think maybe that... .404 after unmount. Interesting. So maybe you were right about this revoking. I'm just not as familiar, but that's kind of it's an interesting point. So is there any value to holding these blobs in memory, though? versus rendering this proxy in an iframe. Yeah, see, this is actually not, this is why I don't want to use a blob. Because, like, what if a customer goes in, they have a ton of different PDFs, they open all of them, and it's consuming memory in their browser. It's eating up memory in their browser the more they open, which is kind of interesting, actually. Let me, image is almost done building here. Okay, it's done building. Let's do this rollout restart. You might be right to hit about this. Let's see. No, I don't care about the umami. No, I don't care about the umami error. I'm more worried about this full screen error. I still can't see the PDF in the modal. I want you to add more detailed logging so we can figure this out. I think iframes... No, the iframe should work. Okay, we added logging. Let's do this. Okay, it's almost done building. Download's working. Okay. Okay, it's done. Building the image. This is some good logs, I'll tell you that. Should be able to figure it out with this much logs. No, that's how big the PDF is. It's just a small PDF. That link opens up the PDF. Interesting. Okay, Zahid, let me try Firefox. Whoa! Zahid, look at that. You did. You were right, Zahid. You were right. I saw the revoke when I'm closing it, it's revoking. So the issue is Chrome not rendering. Okay, some interesting context I want to add is that right now I can see the PDF in the iframe on Firefox, but it's not working in Chrome. Nice. Thank you, Zahid. Thank you. This is why I love streaming, actually, is that we can all learn from each other, you know? Yeah, it should be. It's saying that Chrome doesn't like rendering PDFs inside of iframes that are cross-origin. But the thing is that now I'm using the proxy, so there's no origin issue, where normally there was an origin issue where Chrome wouldn't render a PDF that had an S3 URL and not my domain. And now I guess it's saying that Firefox has a built-in PDF viewer that works in iframes, but Chrome is more restrictive about rendering PDFs in iframes, especially cross-origin ones. But it's not cross-origin right now, so it's kind of interesting. But what change did it make? Let's see. Okay, it's just using an embed tag. I guess instead of a... Instead of an object tag, is that it? So we not... Okay, we replace the iframe with an embed tag. I guess I'm just confused why I don't see where the iframe is was removed. But it's okay, I think. Expecting this to say like... Okay, there we go. Yeah, gotcha. Oh, so it's an embed tag inside of the iframe? Is that what's going on? So I just want to understand a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Hey, yes, I read the chats. But Jay, how are you? So Vijay, what we're working on now is we're building a coaching analysis tool. So now we can look at these analysis videos. So we have dash cameras in vehicles, and these dash cameras trigger events. So things like quick acceleration, hard turn, hard brake, following too closely, forward collision warning, lane departure warning. And then we take these events and we look at the MP4 video, and we do object detection on the MP4, and then we do depth estimation to try to determine the depth of the objects. And then we're building a PDF. So then we'll build a PDF that looks like this. And essentially we build a transcript. We say, okay, here's the event. This is the speed of the vehicle during that event. And these are the objects that we detected in the scene. And then we build coaching questions for the driver. And what's cool about this is these are... Hey, Zahid, yeah, let's do it. What's up? And so these are coaching questions. And these are fully generative, which is pretty cool. So normally, like when drivers would get a violation, a safety violation of some sort, like say they were speeding, a fleet manager might make them like watch the same static content over and over and over. And it's like the same video on speeding. And pretty much what we're doing is we're trying to do generative learning content that's different every single time, and then distribute it proactively to drivers once we detect real events. So let me see. I just made a push here to Next.ts. Let's see. Let's open up a new pull request. Oh, did we not push it? Oh, there we go. Let's push it. Go to next. Oops. Let's go to... Hey Zahid, what's up? And see if it's open. Let me see. Go to Chrome settings, privacy, additional content, PDF documents, and see if it's open PDFs in Chrome instead of download PDFs. Okay, gotcha. Go to Chrome settings, privacy. Additional content. Am I in the right spot to hit? Can I just go / additional? This probably won't work. Content. No. Site settings. I don't. It's in site settings. Okay. So let's go to privacy and security, site settings. Additional content settings. PDF documents. Open PDFs in Chrome. Is that what you were expecting, Zahid? Okay, good, good. So what do you think's going on, Zahid? Okay, I'm waiting for this image to build with these latest changes. And Vijay, you wanted a actually I wanted a suggestion. Anything on data analytics? Just completed my 6 months old boot camp. How's the industry doing? That's a good question. I know that um obviously big data is huge right now, right? Like compressing knowledge and using that data or annotating data and using that data to train models. I'm not exactly sure about data analytics. I mean, there's going to be a demand, I think, for, because we're at the point where OpenAI has actually compressed almost all the publicly available data on the internet. And I'm not sure exactly what type of data analytics you're looking to get into. But I definitely know there's going to be some demand for like curating synthetic data, annotating that data, and trying to like prepare data to train models. MySQL Basic, Python, Tableau. Okay, so kind of like doing big data, crunching big data, scrubbing big data, analyzing big data. I don't think it's a bad place to be honest, because I think that, we're going into a world where the data is like gold, right? Exactly. So I think you may be okay. I'm not an expert though. My word, I wouldn't put too much weight into my words, but that's my thoughts. Let's see if this is done building. Okay, let's do this rollout restart. Okay. Oops. Still not working in Chrome. Interesting. Let me come to Firefox, see if it still works in Firefox. Still working fine in Firefox. Should I delete my, like, cookies and cache, maybe? Let's see. So can still see the video just fine. Yeah, try deleting cache. Yeah. Let's see. Delete browsing data from, or just let, I don't need to delete browsing data, just cookies and other site data and cache. Okay, done. Should have actually kicked me out, maybe. Let's just log out. We logged back in. Coaching. Let me actually close. Hold on. Try closing these tabs. Let's go back to the... Okay. There we go. Hey, Vijay, thanks. Yeah, come hang out anytime, man. I'm happy to answer any questions, and it doesn't matter to me what skill level you're at. If you're super technical, not super technical, you know, I just love to kind of help. Yes, Sahid. Thanks, Sahid. You helped me a lot, man. I really appreciate that. That was kind of fun. I had a good time. Yeah, no, great job to you. I wouldn't have done it without you, actually. So pretty cool. So now let's see if I close it. Let's see if we can reopen it. Nice. Nice. Beautiful. So now, and I'm not sure I'm gonna do it on this stream, but now, really the next step is going to be, I'm going to get these 3D event simulations into the event reconstruction. So we're going to have the video analysis, we'll have the coaching report for the driver, and also this 3D simulation. So that should be pretty cool. And so hey Zahid, I really had a good time you know, working together. And I think I may end the stream today, but my plan is to be on, usually my schedule right now is like Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Central, Fridays at 4 p.m. Central, and then, oh wow, it's late. So I'm usually on at 4 p.m. Central on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Central time on Friday, and then I'm going to do like Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings, or try to. But anyways, thanks for joining, Zahid, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Do you have a LinkedIn? Yeah, I do, and I definitely can share that with you. But I will see you guys on the next stream, Zahid. Let's gonna wrap this up for today, but should have lots of cool fun stuff to do on the next stream. Another idea that I have is, my idea is to kind of make this like thumbnails. So instead of having these table rows, to like have this video, the thumbnail of the video, and like have this like a grid with just the thumbnails, kind of like let me show you. Let me see. So kind of like this type of view, right? So something like this, and we're gonna do that here, right? And I think that'll be a lot visually better having these thumbnails. But cool. Hey, thanks for joining, everyone. And yeah, I have sub to you. See you later. Good night. See ya.